What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Josh and John Luke. And today, guys, we are joined by a special guest. We've got Danny Ocean joining us. Danny is a writer at Going for Two, and he's the co-host of the Speak On It podcast. What's up, Danny?
Hey, fellas. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you. It's about time. It's about time we got you on here, Danny.
What?
Did you say Josh?
I just jinxed. Yeah, we said it at the same time. I got in the way. We are happy to have you, Danny. I'm glad you're on the show.
It's great to be here. There's no better way to spend a Thursday afternoon.
I
with a beer in hand, making some tier lists.
Talking about cheap beers today. I don't have a cheap one, but I got a beer. That's good enough, right?
Yeah, usually I got some PBR on my fridge. I was just fresh out today. Craig, I saw your comment in here, but then I left StreamYard, so now it's gone for me. But unless one of you guys can see it, I still remember what it said, at least the pun. He said that today's tier list was going to be unbearable. So, Craig, I got you. I saw your pun for the day. Every day he comes up with one, either based on the guest or on the topic. Craig comes up with something, or on the game. We lost JL. He said that Danny's for me. I felt lame sitting next to him, so he's gone. Oh, he got over it. Maybe
that's exactly what he said.
Something. Welcome back, John Luke.
Thank you.
Rick said Natty Ice is the only cheap beer. Well, we might be talking some Natty Ice today. Jordan said 301, and I'm not hearing the countdown. I'm upset. Hey, we were right there. It's called dramatic tension, Jordan. Come on, get with the
Children
program.
These days, so impatient.
Rick said it, unless it isn't cheap anymore, about Natty Ice. You know what? I have not bought Natty Ice since college, so I can't tell you. I can't tell you what that costs now. It's always said cheap beer is all U.S. beer. Canadian beer prices are ridiculous.
Gatekeeper.
You know what, Sully? No, I started reading that as very pretentious, saying that like American beer is shit and Canadian beer is way better. But he was just complaining about the prices in Canada. So but I apologize.
Yeah. American mass-produced beer is all pretty much cheap crap beer. So
Jordan said, I don't drink beer, tequila kind of guy or mixed drinks. I was waiting for Josh's lights to light up. And Jordan said, maybe one day I'll grow up. Maybe. You still got a couple years, man. And Craig said 24 cans of Blatz. Have you guys heard of Blatz? Because I truly had never heard of it.
What is Blatz?
Greg put it in the comments.
Not putting it in my mouth, that's for sure.
Never heard of Blatz. He mentioned Blatz
that sounds like
and
50 cent
Hams.
beer.
You guys know Hams? Hamms?
Nope.
No, we have
never heard of that either. Craig,
underbelly of cheap beer.
I know, right? the dark web of cheap beers.
We must be up there in Canada with Sully or something. I don't know.
Sully said, I haven't grown up. I'm a kid at heart that drinks beer is all. Yeah, I think that's about true for a lot of us. And Anthony said, what's the criteria for cheap beers exactly?
We'll find out.
Yeah, there you go. Man, Danny, you got it. That was way better than any answer I could have given. Jay said, happy Friday Eve, Front Yard fam. It is indeed. Thank you for being in here. And Rick said, if I'm drinking beer now, it is Modelo, but I keep multiple types of Crown stock.
Oh, wow.
We got lots of opinions in here.
Okay.
Go ahead, Danny.
Crown in stock? Do you have a blade on you? The only people I know who drinks Crown Royal keeps blades on them.
It's a requirement. You got to show your blade to buy it.
That's what's in the bottom of the purple bag is the blade.
I love that was your first question. Do you have a blade with you?
You know, I think Rick might. If you meet Rick, he might have one sitting on him. NBA wants to know, did you guys have analysis of Monday's mock draft earlier this week? I might have missed your analysis. We do. Josh and I recorded it yesterday, putting the finishing touches on it. It will be uploaded today onto YouTube. So that'll be there. And the Colombian says Julio Jones to the Pats. Did we get some news that I missed? I didn't see a sleeper alert. Is it official yet?
I don't think so, no.
Okay,
I think he's just asking if that's the most likely landing spot, maybe.
Is a likely landing spot.
Danny, what do you think about Julio to the
I'll
Pats?
pass it to Danny.
I just want him to play for the Cardinals. I'm sorry.
That would
I just want to
so
see him
legit.
and D-Hop on the same
Oh
team.
my
God.
Him and
AJ Green.
Rondale Moore would be done for at least this year. But so that would be exciting. I said this yesterday, but I think the most exciting spot for me is the Chargers.
Oh,
yeah. Pair him with Justin Herbert. I think he'd do well there. And let's be honest, the place he's going to get the most hype is the Chiefs. Everyone's going to be
him on the Cardinals sounds like a 2015 like custom Madden team that you would just be so hyped about.
Yeah, I'm thinking, when did DeAndre Hopkins like break out? I know like he probably came in the league around 2015, 2014.
Yeah, I think 2014 was his draft.
Exactly. So that's perfect. That's perfect.
Jay wants to see Julio in Indy.
Carson Wentz does not deserve nice weapons. He does not need to go to Indy.
About to say that. And they're asking top 3 landing spots are Pats, Titans, Chargers. I think Pats, Titans are the most likely. I wouldn't say Pats is like a top landing spot, but as far as like most likely goes, then Pats, Titans. I don't know if Chargers is the third most likely, but that one would definitely be fun.
The Pats and the Titans need him the most, probably. The two biggest teams I think that need another receiver the most, for sure.
Yeah.
Rick says, I have purple bags, tan bags, and peach bags, plus all the blades. Even
Caramel.
have a dog named Blade. There we go. What'd you say?
He said caramel. Tan bags.
That's a perfectly. Oh, I thought you said I said it wrong. I'm always so self-conscious about that word because people ask how you say it, caramel or caramel, and I don't know how I say it. Like I don't say that word often enough. So whenever people ask me, I panic because I think about it and I don't know what I say.
Do you want
caramel?
You have to start saying it and then see if they help you finish it. Caramel. Gotcha.
Which one do you like? And I'm sorry to do this to you, Danny. I'm sure you get this way too often, but you planning a heist right now? Right? No? You know what I'm talking about? Ocean?
This is the first group of people who've gotten where Danny Ocean originates from. Yes, it is from the Ocean's movies. No one has put 2 and 2 together. Yeah.
You did it, Josh.
You did it.
Jordan did it. I mean, I thought about it. I know like Simon says that like people don't like.
Where do they think it usually comes from?
No one's ever asked. Ever.
No one's even asked? They just assume you're a man of the sea, like that you just live out there or something?
Or I'm related to Billy Ocean, one of the two.
Frank Ocean.
Or Frank Ocean, yeah. Okay, guys, today we are doing some running back tiers before we get into our cheap beer tier list. We've done parts 1 and 2 already, so this is part 3. We'll probably hit 5 or 6 more running backs today. We're getting into some fun names to talk about. What's up, NBA? Welcome in. Glad to have you here. And NBA also said he'd like to see Julio in Baltimore, but you guys apparently don't want to give up a first-round draft pick. Yeah, I
would love Julio in Baltimore. I would love it as a Baltimore Ravens fan, but it's not the best landing spot from a fantasy perspective, and I'm not giving up a first-round pick for Julio at this point.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense from an NFL perspective for them to make this move, even without giving out a first-round draft pick. They don't have the cap.
You were shaking your head there. No, you agree?
Yeah, he's not worth the first round pick. Not for you guys.
No.
Yeah.
Rick said I wanted to say it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you guys kind of address the receiver position. Don't get me wrong. It's not Julio. Like, it's not Julio with the receivers that you had in the offseason.
He's not like the missing piece that's going to give us
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It would be
that's
fun.
Not going to be the difference between a Super Bowl for the Ravens, I don't think.
It would hurt
Ricky Butt said, absolutely. Rick said he wasn't going to say anything about your last name because he figured it was like saying Simon Says. So that's probably what he did. Exactly. And Rick knows all about people saying things about his name. As you can probably imagine with the last name like that. His last name is Butts, JL.
It's a good last name. All right. Let him have it.
And Sully's agreeing with us that Julio should not fetch a first rounder. Unfortunately, I agree with this at this point. I think he's still going to be an elite wide receiver next year. Like, he's still Julio. I still believe in that, but man, I just can't see giving up a first for him. Guys, we've got our running back tier list today. Before we jump into that, though, I want to remind everyone, if you want to go see part 1 and part 2 of this tier list, you can find that on our YouTube channel at Front Yard Fantasy. And the mock draft review alluded to by NBA Rigged earlier will also be on that channel today. And you can find all of our streams on Twitch as well at Front Yard Fantasy. So go ahead and subscribe to those spots if you haven't already. You'll never miss another live stream again. Rick said, wait, I have a funny last name. No,
it's not funny. It's a good last name. I just could see how some assholes could, misinterpret how good of a name it is, right? That's what we're getting at.
There's a wordplay joke in there somewhere.
What's up, Jay Wall? He said he traded Julio for 2 first rounders last year. I'm guessing he means in fantasy, but holy cow, good job, man. I hope that team they needed Julio to win, I'm guessing. I hope it was right at the end of the season. No, because
I was in a rebuild. No, listen up. I was in a rebuild 2 years ago. I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about 2 years ago. I realized I needed to rebuild my team. I was trying to sell Julio to I couldn't get a first round pick. I eventually got DJ Chark plus, but it was not much in that plus category. So that was 2 years ago. No one's given up that. Man, I'm impressed. You got 2 firsts. Good job.
That reminds me of I think I got a first for Devonta Freeman right before he left the Falcons. That one felt good.
Very nice.
It's not nearly Julio for 2 firsts, but
no.
I mean, but it's something, right?
It's something.
The Colombian says, imagine that Pat's offense: Jones, Harris, Henry, Smith, Bourne, Aguilar, Myers, and Jones. You know what? It's an odd group of names you put up there. When you first read it, it seems underwhelming, right? But it would actually be interesting. Julio with those 2 tight ends out there on the field, that would that could be some interesting stuff going on. I don't know if I trust either quarterback there to take advantage of those 3 weapons, though. I do love Cam, and I still believe
more
in him,
likely though to take advantage of the weapons. I love Cam. I think he's gonna. I don't love Cam. I used to love Cam. I don't love
I love Cam.
I
don't love Cam.
He's digressed a lot. He's downgraded a lot right now. He doesn't have the same tools that he used to have, but I think Mac Jones is going to get these weapons the ball better. So if Mac Jones is the starter, I'm more excited for Julio Jones.
We'll see. I think Cam's going to start more games than maybe people are anticipating. I think Cam's going to have a decent year this year. Okay, guys. Danny, we're going to come to you first on which one of these running backs you want to talk about right away. These are the guys down here that we're looking at today. We probably won't get to all of them, but we've got Chris Carson, Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson, David Montgomery, Najee Harris, Miles Sanders, Myles Gaskin, Kareem Hunt, and Josh Jacobs today. Which one of these guys do you want to throw up there first?
As a man who drafts Miles Sanders every year religiously as an Eagles fan, let's start with Miles Sanders.
Let's start with Miles Sanders. So, Danny, since you picked him, where would you put Miles Sanders on this tier list? Where do you think he belongs?
Probably in the tier 3. Yeah, let's put him beside Joe Mixon.
Tier 3. Josh, what do you think? And just so everyone knows how this works, there was some disagreement last week. We're all going to say where we think he would go, and then we'll try, unless 3 out of 4 of us say the same tier, in which case we'll just put him in that tier. But if it's split any other way, we will average it as best we can and throw them in that tier. Josh, where would you put Miles Sanders?
I think that's smart. I personally, like Danny, you said you're a Miles Sanders fan. I personally, I think he's a tier 4 guy for me. I would draft him closer to that J.K. Dobbins and Clyde Edwards-Helaire range. But, like the split between tier 3 and tier 4 is small, really, when it comes down to it. So I could see this going either way, but I'm going to go tier 4.
John Luke?
Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders.
And before you go, they want to know, are you ranking running backs based on fantasy or no? Yes, this is for redraft. This is redraft running backs. So this is for fantasy, not just like pure skill as a runner. We would have talked about some Nick Chubb already if that was the case.
Yes. I love you.
John Luke.
I'm worried about Miles Sanders. I can't put him any higher than tier 4 this year. In Dynasty, I'm even more worried for his long-term value. I think he is every possibility. That's not how you say that. I think it is well within his realm of possibilities that he could be up there with Mixon, Swift. But I would put that more of the best case scenario. So I'm expecting him probably around tier 4. But there's some downside there that certainly scares me.
Man, I think you guys are too low on Miles Sanders. I think you guys are too low on Miles Sanders. I mean, who like what's downgrading him? Just his talent? Because it's not Boston Scott. Is it Jalen Hurts as a runner? Because running quarterbacks generally help their running backs. I think Miles Sanders has been a top tier, an RB1 fantasy option, and his situation as a running back isn't getting any worse. If anything, it's getting better for him.
There's a lot of uncertainty this year.
Right? Yeah, but the uncertainty is. Yeah, but what are they going to do? Not use Miles Sanders? Use Boston Scott instead? I fully the uncertainty is all. Yeah. I just I think it's Boston Scott's backfield, or I just said Boston Scott. I think it's Miles Sanders.
I think you just made their case.
I would draft him. I would draft him much closer to Joe Mixon than I would. I think I would draft him possibly ahead of Joe Mixon than I would J.K. Dobbins. So I put him in tier 3 as well.
So what do we do here? Tier 3.
Do we go to the chat or do we go Ty goes to the guest?
I think we go to the chat. Oh, Ty goes to the guest, but I think it's either way. It's going to the
either
guest.
way. It's going to be tier 3. Except Brady said tier 5, but Jay and Anthony both said tier 3.
Yeah.
So Miles Sanders going up in there in tier 3. Danny,
And
what do you like about Miles Sanders?
I was thinking about it real fast, and I agree. I mean, like Aaron Jones, no more Aaron Rodgers. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, very disappointing season. People are worried about him. I'm not, and then J.K. Dobbins. People are worried about Gus Edwards and not getting the touches he's going to need to be very relevant. Miles Sanders has that backfield more locked up than these other guys. I can see tier 3 makes sense.
Thank you.
Sorry, Danny.
Oh, you're
Danny.
good.
You said you thought he belonged in tier 3. What do you like about Miles Sanders to put him up there with the guys like Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler?
I'm starting to buy the Nick Sirianni hype and that he's going to find creative ways to get Miles the ball. I think there was some highlights from OTAs and they're doing like orbit motion. And for Eagles fans, that's foreign because we don't know what that means. We just had Doug Peterson line up with nothing. So it's kind of fun to see some creative offensive gestures. So we'll see. I think Nick Sirianni will find other ways to get Miles the ball out of the backfield.
I like that point a lot because Doug Peterson in the past has been a committee kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Like he does like committees. So that's one reason that it concerns me. But Miles Sanders is so far away the most talented running back in that offense.
Completely agree. And Brady said, problem is the Eagles are going to be 4-13. There's still fantasy value to be had. That is an aggressive prediction.
Yeah.
Wow, coming in.
I mean,
Also,
they're one of those confusing teams for me.
The Colombian said, nice seeing this. I need the fantasy chip this year. Well, welcome in, man. We're glad to have you here. We stream every day at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
And everyone that watched us last year won the fantasy championship.
It's guaranteed,
so keep chiming in. We got you. Automatic guarantee win.
We'll deny that we ever said this, but
Dave says rushing QBs. Yeah, thank God they can't find it anywhere, right? Dave said rushing QBs help running back efficiency but lower volume, and TD Vulture, meaning net negative, still very talented and going to be used a lot. On Brady's point, I guess they got to get down to the red zone for Hurts to even Vulture a TD, right?
Wow.
I'm just messing with you, Danny.
That
I'm just trying to
do a lot better than it did last year. I'm pretty
I agree as well.
I can ask you real fast, Jalen Reagor, how do you feel about him in the slot? You excited? You done with him? What's up there?
I'll give him a pass for his rookie year. He hurt his thumb. I'll give him a pass. Oh, he has one more. I know he's getting tired of the Justin Jefferson comparisons, and I try not to do that to him. So I'll give him 1 year in the slot. It'll work for Aguilar. So let's even work for Jalen. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, he looked good when he was on the field. I think Wentz just couldn't get him the ball.
Oh yeah, Wentz was too big.
He was like missing him on short little slant routes.
Constantly. He's like, can we stop saying Wentz? We've said it too many times already.
That Cowboys game where he's like rolling to his left and like he's gearing up to throw and there's not a receiver within 40 yards. Like everyone's running slants. Like, oh Jesus, that was a rough year. It's okay though.
Jay said Kerryon couldn't beat our 85-year-old Adrian Peterson. That is true. Josh, we're moving on to the next running back. Right. Which one of these guys would you like to talk about next?
I just made a video on my Twitter. I posted on Twitter about this guy yesterday. Nick Chubb. I think he is the best pure running back in the NFL. There's more revolving around that, though, than just I'm not saying he's the best fantasy running back. So I do have to temper my expectations here, but he's tier 2 for me. He's still tier 2. I would rather have him than Zeke this year. Am I saying too much? I don't know.
Nope.
They're close. Okay.
He's tier 2 for me. He's tier 2 for me as well, Josh. I think he's right up there with those names. From a fantasy perspective and from a talent perspective, that's where Nick Chubb belongs. John Luke, what do you think?
Yep, tier 2 for me as well. I think he belongs right there behind Kamara. I would take him over Zeke as well.
Danny, are we unanimous?
Yeah, we are unanimous. I would take Chubb over Zeke every day and twice on Sunday.
Let's go.
I'm high on Zeke, and I'm saying that. Like I feel like I'm higher than most people.
I thought I was going to get chipped for saying
that. Sure he's sitting ahead of him. No way, man. People are down on Zeke right now.
I know, but people are high on Dak coming back.
Yeah, I think you could say most of the names in tier 3 over Zeke, and people wouldn't get up in arms at you. Like, I wouldn't agree with it, but I think almost like you could not anger people by saying any of those names we have in tier 3 over Zeke. People would be like, okay, maybe disagree, but yeah, that was a quick one. But we all agreed on Nick Chubb. He belongs there. We probably should have talked about him earlier. John Luke, which one of these guys would you like to talk about next?
Who we got here? We got David Montgomery, Gibson, Chris Carson,
Najee,
I guess we can
Kareem
go
Hunt,
with
Josh
Gibson.
Jacobs.
I think I'll put Antonio Gibson in tier 3. God, Aaron Jones really should be not in tier 4.
Yeah, well, I think it's Josh said it yesterday on stream, and we said it whenever we ranked him. I really am scared for him with Aaron Rodgers leaving, more so than Devontae Adams. Josh, you explained it better, but like that is a fear for me in that offense. That's the only reason he's down there. If I knew Aaron Rodgers was back, he's up there near the top of tier 3, I think. But it terrifies me.
It's a weird situation where, like, you would think the wide receiver would be more affected with the quarterback leaving, but I think it affects Aaron Jones more, limits his scoring opportunities. And I think Devontae Adams is just a elite receiver, kind of, and I think he's going to be fine without Aaron Rodgers. Not the same, but I'm more worried for Aaron Jones than Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I think I'd temper expectations, but maybe we've talked ad nauseum on this topic.
You're right.
I don't think you brought it up. I don't think his value will go off a cliff. I would take him over Miles Sanders, over Eckler, over a lot of those guys in tier 3.
And that might be the reason I wanted to put Miles Sanders in tier 4. It just maybe just fits in there more. But,
do we want to move Aaron Jones up to tier 3 on the fly?
No, it sounds like maybe. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Well, let's get Danny's input.
Danny, what do you think?
You got. I mean, of course, losing a Hall of Fame quarterback is going to hurt, but I mean, it's still a good offense, right? Like, yeah, do it. Put him in tier 3.
You know what? I think we're all in agreement. That was affecting it definitely when we were looking at these tiers. That tier makes a lot more sense sitting there with Edwards-Helaire and Dobbins than throwing Aaron Jones in there. He looked like the odd guy out in that grouping. Gibson, John Luke.
Yeah, I think Gibson is on the line for me for tier 3, tier 4, but I will give him benefit of the doubt here and throw him in tier 3.
Man, we got some loaded tiers up here. But I think I agree with you. I have a hard time separating him from some of the guys in that group. And I think that should be an improved offense this year. And like I said before, I think Gibson does get more involved in the passing game this year. I don't think it was due to a lack of ability. I think it was run blocking is difficult for rookies to learn in the NFL, and so they didn't trust him to do it yet. They're going to trust him more. He'll get in more on those passing down situations, and Gibson's going to be used even more this year. I think you have to put him up there in tier 3. Hey, what do you think?
Same. Yeah, he was great. He was on my team last year, and he was great. He's going to be even better this year. Put him in.
How Ryan Fitzpatrick will utilize him. Maybe I'll go dig into that after the stream of how often he uses his running backs, throws to his running backs.
I preemptively put him up there before Danny said tier 3, but then he said tier 3. So, Josh, where would you put him?
I'm putting him in tier 4 because I think he belongs closer to J.K. Dobbins and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Personally, I think I would draft both of these guys over Antonio Gibson. It doesn't matter. You guys both picked, all three of you picked tier 3. I was so happy to see that because now I can go tier 4 without having to worry about mixing things up.
Mixing? No, he's in tier 3 as well.
He's incredibly close to Dobbins for me. I think I was higher on Dobbins than maybe consensus. That tier 3, tier 4 is like there's a blend there. Yeah, I don't know that there's like a definitive tier break for me.
I think it's going to be personal opinion when it comes down to it.
I was going to say, I think that tier is the guys that we disagree on, like the ones that maybe some of us will put it in tier 3, some of us in tier 4 or 5, and then they ended up in tier 4.
And that's why Aaron Jones wound up in tier 4 because 2 weeks ago when we first did this, it was the hype of the Aaron Rodgers talk, and we were all very worried.
Yeah.
And NBA wants to know who is this year's CEH bust first, second draft pick in fantasy. So I'm guessing like first round running back. That's most likely.
Does it have to be a running back?
I guess it doesn't have to be a running back.
I'm trying to think.
Man, you know what's going to happen, and I don't want to call for
those are my choices.
These
don't say ET.
All of these 2020 rookie running backs that came in and performed well or showed us flashes towards the end. I'm not calling for a specific one, but between DeAndre Swift, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins, Jonathan Taylor, someone's not going to live up to our expectations from their rookie year. That's what I'm going to predict, and I don't have the nerve to pick which one.
Gibson.
I didn't even say Antonio Gibson.
I want it to be Antonio Gibson, but I am like really, really low key afraid that it's going to be Dobbins. I don't.
Danny, what are you thinking? Any names stick out to you that could be a trap in the first, second round?
No, I'm here. You guys are just dropping so much knowledge. I'm going to dominate in fantasy this year. I can't wait to kick my friend's ass and take their money.
The way you said it sounded like what we were saying. Like, oh man, these idiots! I'm about to steal so much.
No.
People out here really believe in this.
I'm actually writing this down. I'm going to kick their ass. I can't wait to come back in the fall. I'm beating the piss out of them.
I love what you just said. I'm so excited for football. I can't wait for fantasy to come back. I really.
It is my turn to pick one. And Anthony asked, imagine how good Chubb would be if Kareem Hunt stayed in Kansas City. So I want to talk about Kareem Hunt. Oh, easily. I want to talk about Kareem Hunt now, though.
Did we answer was the NBA's question?
What was it?
Who would be this year's CH?
Well, we kind of did.
We talked about it. That's what we were talking about.
But he's from last year. I think you're saying rookies, right?
He never said anything about rookies.
Second round draft pick. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a first or second round draft pick last year because of all.
I thought he meant the next class, like the next.
He said in fantasy. I think he's just talking about a first or second round pick in fantasy that doesn't live up to the expectations.
Yeah. All right, might be.
Yeah, come on, JL, derailing it. I said Kareem Hunt, and you're like, nope. We're talking about that.
If we are thinking about a JL's way, ETN is the answer.
No, I didn't want you to say that.
It has to
I regret bringing it up.
Sorry.
I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt as the player I want to talk about. He was phenomenal for fantasy last year. We know that. Chubb missed some time, but Kareem Hunt was still great with Chubb on the field. It wasn't like he suddenly took this massive downturn. That offense was built for those two running backs to succeed. That's what Stefanski wants to do. And I don't think that's going to change this year. They're going to keep on doing that because it works, because they've got maybe the best backfield duo in the NFL. Kareem Hunt you guys might hate me for this, but he's in that tier 4 with CEH and Dobbins for me.
Love it.
That's where I'm drafting him. Like those are the players I think I might even draft him over CEH, and that's crazy.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say, Simon. I just simply got to put it that way. I'm sorry.
I've said some dumb things.
Backup running back for it. Oh my god.
He's not the backup's the wrong way to look at it. He's like those are both starting running backs.
Oh my god. Nick Chubb missed that's like 6 games last year, and CH was still high scoring more fantasy points.
Oh, we are hot in this Thirsty Thursday.
Wait, no.
Things are heating up.
First of all, CH did not score more fantasy points. Kareem Hunt was the RB10 last year. And what was Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the RB22. So that point was wrong. Man. But Kareem Hunt deserves to be in the conversation with those guys. Danny, where are you going on this one? Also, Josh, look at the game splits with and without Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt still produced. Sorry, Dan, keep on going. Keep on going, Dan.
No, Simon, I'm with you. Put him in tier 4. Let's do it.
We got 2 tier 4s. Josh, John Luke, where are you going?
I want to go tier 6 just so we can make sure he ends up lower. I don't want to agree with that, but tier 5. It's tier 5. The running backs dry up after tier 4. They really do. I'd rather I'm drafting Gaskin over Kareem Hunt in redraft.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, a starting running back.
That's a bad take, Josh.
Jay said Hunt, the RB10, where Browns leagues. No, just look at PPR finish from last year. He was the RB10. The Browns had 2 top 12 running backs. We got 2 tier 4s, a tier 5. John Luke, where are you putting him? You know what? I just want to say, Josh, people said the same thing you're saying now last season, and it was to their detriment not to have Kareem Hunt on their team. They've shown what they want to do.
Hunt on 2 teams, and I didn't want him on my teams, man.
I don't know what you were doing. He was.
I'm excited for him for Dynasty. I'm excited for him to get the hell out of the Browns off the Browns, away from Nick Chubb, the better running back. Oh man, he's gonna be letting people down.
John Luke, we stall enough for you?
Yeah, you didn't need to. You guys, I think, just wanted to fight. I
wanted to fight him.
I am tempted. I honestly, before you said anything, Simon, I was thinking tier 4. I know that seems weird because usually Simon and I don't agree, and Josh is gonna be very mad. it doesn't feel right putting him next, like anywhere near to Dobbins. And again, this is because I just don't agree that Dobbins should be.
That's probably 4. On the Dobbins ranking more so than where Hunt belongs.
And I think he's pretty far away, like in the tier from CEH. I think he's at the very bottom of the tier, to the point where I would be fine putting him in tier 5. So I guess I'll say 4 to make this easy, since
you know what? I don't know. I don't know.
Or
let's
throw it to the chat. Let's throw it to the chat.
FYF.
Throw it to the chat.
You know,
okay.
I'm joking. Tier
FYF 4, with no Jeff.
I'm over exaggerating this a little bit.
For dramatic.
We lost Josh. He got too mad. He malfunctioned. Anthony said tier 4. Sully said tier 4 is about right. Jay said 5. Rick said tier 2 talent in a tier 4 situation.
3-1.
So I think we go with 4 there. Brady says tier 5, and Jay, you do not get to vote again.
Yeah, come on, Jay. What's the?
So tier 4.
Tier 4 is what the chat said. Man, Jay's always trying to sneak in extra votes. I wouldn't be surprised if the Front Yard Fantasy account suddenly shows up with a vote for tier 5 as well.
And Ricky's point here is, look. He's a tier 2 talent. I agree, but he's a tier 6 situation. Like that, like I don't know. Like but no, I'm just saying, like, he is a great running back. I agree completely. It's just like he's not the main runner for his team. And like, when do we ever put a running back that's not the main runner for their team this high? You know, it doesn't happen very often. Maybe he deserves it though. I guess
we'll see how CEH is used, because he certainly has competition as well this year, which is why I kind of lumped them together. Oh, they got how many players there now? Lev Bell, Darrell Williams. They got plenty of people that they'll split with.
They had those guys last year and they weren't really used very much.
Didn't do so hot.
He did too hot. He was a top 24 running back as a rookie.
Yeah, you're disparaging Kareem Hunt for being a top 10 running back. You give credit to CEH for being top 24.
I can't
okay, Danny.
You guys.
Danny, we're going to talk about one more running back and then move on to beer, so we got time to do that. Which running back would you like to talk about?
Knocked out at my contact.
Let's go Chris Carson.
Chris Carson. That's an interesting one. We had someone in here earlier saying that Carson was amazing for them last year. Wants his RBs to be Carson and Cook. So Danny, where do you think Chris Carson belongs?
Oh, I'll probably put him in tier 4. Chris has not been good to me.
Tier 4. Josh, what do you think?
Chris Carson redrafts the tier 3 running back. Boom.
Tier 3. So we've got a tier 3, a tier 4. John Luke, what do you think?
I think he's tier 4, back of tier 4 for me.
Man, you guys are, I am maybe too low on Chris Carson. He is the starting running back in Seattle and will be. I mean, I guess they've got DJ Dallas and Rashad Penny sitting there in the wings, but it's Chris Carson's backfield. You know, I was going to say tier 5, but when I look at that situation, he's a tier 4 running back. He is the back of tier 4 for me, but he is tier 4 for me. Man, Josh, I feel like you've been the odd man out on today's today's running back ranking.
I'm fine with Chris Carson. Kareem Hunt's just, man, it really pinched a nerve or did something. It pulled a string in me or something. I don't know what it was. I'm sorry.
So I quickly looked up the difference between his and Clyde Edwards-Helaire's usage last year, and they're pretty similar. Kareem Hunt definitely had a decent portion of his, less work on the rushing side, which is understandable. We'd expect that, but everything else, like their general workload was pretty similar. So I definitely have CEH over Kareem Hunt. Don't get me wrong here.
Workload is going to increase, and Kareem Hunt's is not without an injury.
Assuming that's an assumption, but yeah, I agree. I hope that's how it plays out, Josh. I truly, I'm on your side on that one.
Everything's an assumption we're talking about here.
I don't think Kareem Hunt's workload has to increase to be a tier 4 running back. He was number 10 overall last year. We don't have him ranked at 10 here. How many running backs do we have ahead of him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
without
8,
an
9,
injury.
10, 11, 12,
it won't even be similar without an injury, right?
There were weeks where they both played where he outscored Nick Chubb. It wasn't just this linear thing where Chubb's on the field, Hunt isn't good anymore.
We can digress.
Let's move on. We got beers to get to.
I got one. Hunt outscored Chubb in 7 of the last 10 weeks when they both played. Like that is something that happened. They were both on the field. Hunt is a great runner and will be involved in that offense.
Sounds like, let me get my last jab in.
I mean, I just think
Josh
is hating on Kareem Hunt. Let's record a debate. We'll give 5 minutes.
Or J.K. Dobbins and redraft.
3 hours of just Simon and Josh going back and forth.
This is A+ content.
Okay, guys, we've got another tier list. The one that you guys came for. Sully, or what did Craig said? Josh is taking a beer ting today. And Sully said, almost like he is the yeast qualified.
A little better.
And this is the second time it's been said in the chat, so I'm going to put it up there. He said, Danny Ocean looks like Eckler, or is it only me?
I see it a little bit.
I don't know.
How do you feel about it, Danny?
Put that on. I've been called Suge Knight. I've been called. What's that? What's his name? What's the MMA fighter? He fought John Jones. No, the other one, John Jones' nemesis. What's that? Yeah, what's that guy's name? Yes, Evan Fournier.
Daniel Cormier?
Cormier. Yeah, that's the guy.
More like John Jones than Cormier, I think.
I've been called him, so this is just a new one. Also, Eckler. I'm sure a Keenan Allen comparison is on the way too.
Man, I feel like whenever anyone says you look like somebody, it's never so rarely a good thing. I'm always just like, oh man, this isn't gonna be good.
The Suge Knight one, I felt very disrespected.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
What the hell? How dare you?
Of all the people,
he's a good-looking guy, though.
Suge Knight.
Yeah, Eckler, I would rather get than Suge Knight for sure. I got Chicken Little one time, so I'll take anything above that.
The glasses.
I think it is the classes. Biaditsa, Josh is absolutely right. Why would I draft the second best running back on a team as an RB2?
Don't do it.
Don't bring it. We talked about it ad nauseum already, but there you go. Josh, someone's on your side. Danny,
someone is.
Anthony said, that's because you're ugly, JL. Just playing. You walked right into that one. Anthony with a dagger.
Just walked right into that one.
I see how it is.
Also, Jay's with you as well, Josh. Danny, we are doing our cheap beer tier list now. We're going to pretend like the Kareem Hunt debate didn't exist. None of that running back stuff matters anymore. We're talking cheap beer. I love you too, Josh. Which one of these cheap beers? We always try to start with S tier. What is your S tier cheap beer?
Nickel Beer Night in Norfolk, Virginia. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Throw it up there.
PBR. Danny says S tier. And you know what, Danny? I'm agreeing with you. S tier for PBR. That is my go-to cheap beer. If I'm at a concert, I want a PBR. I don't know. It's still delicious. It's just the perfect cheap beer. I remember when I was a freshman in college, I was like, people who drink PBR and IPAs are just doing it to look cool. And then a year later, I was drinking exclusively PBRs and IPAs.
Yeah. I did the same thing, man.
The universe unfolds as it should.
S tier for me. Josh, where are you putting PBR?
Yes, I love what you just said. The universe always unfolds as it should. That's what I live by. PBR S tier. Let's go.
Oh, we got 3 S's. John Luke, your vote doesn't matter, but I still want to hear it.
I would probably put it in beer A. I don't drink it that much. It was fine from what I remember.
I lost it for a second. I couldn't find it. I was like, oh no, did I forget it on there? PBR is up in S tier. Josh, I think I know which one you're going to want to talk about first, but what is your S tier cheap beer?
So my favorite cheap beer has always been Rolling Rock, actually. It started back in college. I used to bring a bag, literally just a grocery bag of Rolling Rock.
Liquid. Just like you poured them all.
I poured all the...
He's got his grocery bag with a straw.
That would actually be but I was kind of known as the Rolling Rock bag guy. Wherever I went, I just had a little bag of Rolling Rock, 6 or 12 packs. So Rolling Rock S tier. Let's go.
Rolling Rock S tier from Josh. I did want to address something. Brady said, Simon, I just checked your game logs. Your stat is way wrong. After Chubb came back, he outscored Kareem Hunt every single game except week 14. I appreciate that, Brady. I trust you. I was looking at it quick, and I may have just looked at it wrong. Maybe I was looking at PPR versus standard. I had them pulled up incorrectly. So I'm always one to admit when I say something wrong and stupid. So I'm going to trust you on that one since you probably had a minute more to look it up. But my bad on that stat. If that was incorrect, guys, sure. I apologize.
Josh is like, move him down.
I don't even want.
Man, and guys, we are talking beer now. We are talking beer now in the chat, just so you know. Let's leave the vitriol about Kareem Hunt behind. There's a lot of it in there. Tim said, please take into account commercials and marketing. JL, where are you putting Rolling Rock?
Again, it's unspectacular to me. I'll put it in B. It's good. It's fine.
Rolling Rock would be B or C for me, but I have like very fond college memories of trivia night on Mondays at the pizza place, Dollar Pizza, and $4 Rolling Rock pitchers. And Tim and I would go and just get way too belligerent for a Monday night exclusively on Rolling Rock. So it is an A tier for me. Sorry, Jay.
Wait.
So, I didn't mean to put it in there yet.
Yeah.
Danny, where are you putting Rolling Rock?
Rolling Rock is God Sweat. Put it in S.
We got 2 S's, an A.
I feel like
and
Danny's
a
gonna
B.
put all of these in S tier.
I do love cheap beer. Something about it.
So where does that end up? He did. It's 2 S's, an A, and a B.
That's
so A, or is
A,
that
right?
S? We throw them in S.
What was it?
It averages out to like in between, right?
2 S's, an A, and a B. John Luke, is that going in A or S?
2 S's, an A, and a B. Yeah, put it in A.
We'll throw it in A.
Said S though.
The guest did say S. We're throwing it in A.
All right,
John Luke, which one of these cheap beers do you want to talk about? Sully says you could just slide all of these into D and call it a day if you wanted to.
How dare you? How dare you? There's a difference here.
There's a clear difference. I'm gonna talk about Dos Equis. Let's put Dos Equis in S tier. It's a solid. Like anytime you go to a Mexican restaurant, you get a cold Dos Equis. It's perfect.
Is that the proper way to say it? Because I make fun of Leanne whenever she says Dos Equis instead of Dos Equis.
That's like literally the Spanish. Like if you're like trying to say the Spanish, what they're trying to.
Now I'm the jackass,
right?
Yeah.
I gotta tell Leanne that she was right, and I've been being a jackass. For
I
no
say
reason.
Dos Equis. Dos Equis. Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. Okay, I'm gonna start saying it right. Dos Equis. You know what, JL? I'm almost S tier with you, but I never drink it outside of the Mexican restaurant setting. Like I will order a Dos Equis at a Mexican restaurant, but you know what? It's not even my go-to at Mexican restaurants anymore. Like I have a different beer that I prefer there. So I'm going to give it an A because it was that rock for a long time, but it is not anymore. Danny, where are you going with Dos Equis?
Dos Equis, thank you for the proper pronunciation, belongs in A. I agree. Nothing's better than going to a Mexican restaurant, sit down to a cold one.
So we got an S and 2 A's. Josh, where are you putting it?
So a couple things in high school, I don't know why. I think I just thought I was a badass, but I had a Dos Equis necklace that I wore a lot. That I got a Buffalo Wild Wings.
You got laid so much, I bet.
Dude, everyone wanted a piece of this after I was wearing that necklace.
Is that a beer necklace? Oh my god.
No, it might be my favorite this style of beer, and I don't drink beer all the time, but when I do.
Oh, touche. I prefer touche. Yes, that is the line of the day. That is it.
Here for me. Let's go.
Oh, shoot. We've got 2 S's and 2 A's.
The delivery deserves to be in the S. That was perfect.
Okay. You know what, Danny? Danny said give it to S. We're throwing it up there. Dos Equis in the S tier. And Danny took my favorite cheap beer with PBR, but what I'm going to talk about is one that probably would be an F if it wasn't for a memory. So it belongs in A for me, and that is Keystone Light. It was my first beer I ever had. My friend's older brother snuck us out onto the beach in Panama City with a bag of beers. I drank 2 of them, puked in the ocean, and you know what? That was a perfect way to have. Yeah, I was like 13 or 14, I can't remember, and I was not ready for it. I drank 2 warm Keystone Lights that were like in his car and vomited in the ocean. And because of that, it's an A tier beer. That's the memory I have. Danny, where are you going for Keystone Light?
I'm going to start with the first half of your first sentence. It belongs in that. It is an F for me. I've never had anything good happen in my life after drinking Keystone Light. Josh, what about you?
Keystone Light. What is that? Bad. D tier for me.
If we're taking into account marketing, it's definitely terrible.
So we've got D, F, A, and John Luke. What are you saying?
Beer pong, beer only.
It's D.
The only time I've ever drank
it. Back
you
when
know
you
what? I'll say the F and the A cancel out, and it's going to end up in D. That's where Keystone Light's going to end up. Danny, Which one do you want to talk about next?
Let's do Natural Light because I used to make fun of my father for drinking Natty Light. So in honor of him, I'm going to say Natty Light and say, Dad, it still belongs in the F range forever.
Josh, what about you?
Natty Light.
Natty Light's a tough one. Natty Light. It's such a classic. It's just such an average, like, cheap beer. It's like B. It's like a real solid B for me.
Josh,
a solid B.
We didn't grow up too far from each other. Relatively close in range. Was Natty Light like the high school beer for your,
Yes.
That was like the
absolutely.
go-to in, Montgomery County was Natty Light.
I'd be fine with beers.
Your high school beer.
I just went in the middle.
So Josh, you said B, right?
I'm going to go C because I'm seeing Natty Bow here, and that belongs above Natty Light. So, but not too high. But C.
But not too high.
C and F. John Luke, where are you putting it?
So this is a complex question because if we're going on taste, it's an F. It's water. It's water with it's beer flavored water. Probably the most out of any beer I've ever had. It is beer flavored water, but nostalgia makes me definitely put it up there just because it brings me back to a time of drinking in high school. We had so much ahead of me.
I mean, yeah. When we were all above 21 in high school, though.
We were all 21 and over in high school.
Yeah, every single one. It was like High School Musical. Everyone was. Everyone was like 30.
It's barely alcohol, guys. I don't think it even counts as underage drinking. You have to drink 2%. Like a whole case just to feel anything.
Have I told you guys about the time in high school I went over to a friend's house and parents were out of town and we just said screw it and raided the beer fridge and we're going to deal with the consequences when they got home, and we were playing beer pong all night and none of us felt anything. We were like, what the hell is happening? Why aren't we getting drunk? It was O'Doul's. It was non-alcoholic beer and none of us had any idea before it. We'd been chugging her dad's O'Doul's and nothing.
It's better than
the perfect ad.
Yeah, it is. There's definitely been stories of the kids who start acting drunk though, and they don't realize that it's O'Doul's, just placebo effect. So at least it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, at least we didn't placebo ourselves.
So
I don't like that as a verb.
Or did someone in the household actually like O'Doul's? I'm not sure here.
I think her dad did drink O'Doul's, but I also think he took all the other beer out of the fridge before he left.
Smart man.
I think it was both.
He's elevated.
So John Luke, where did you end up on this enigma of a beer for you?
I'll put it at what were the other votes?
F and C.
I'm gonna put it at B. Try and balance it out a little bit because I know it's not going to end up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say F. There's a Natty on here that's a little bit better and has better memories. So Natty Light, you can go in F tier for me. So we got 2 Fs, a B, and a C.
So D. I'm fine with
D.
D.
We'll put Natty Light in D. That's going to be blasphemous to some people. Some people love their Natty Light.
Anthony's a nut over here.
Anthony said, I got busted drinking beers in a national park in high school.
You stole from a party?
Were you at the party or you saw a party going on? We're I'm going to sneak in and grab these.
I'm thinking super bad situation going on.
Okay.
Yeah. Anthony drinks Crown Royal too. That's definitely.
He's filling the laundry detergent canisters with beer, and he's got green beer in the end. He's drinking in the national park. What's going on?
Josh, you picked Rolling Rock last time. Which one do you want to talk about now?
Natty Bow. Natty Bow is A for me. So this is a Baltimore beer. This is a classic Baltimore beer. This is a beer. Just take my word for it. I'm going S because you guys aren't going to go high enough. It deserves to be an A.
If it makes you feel better, I'm going to recuse myself so you don't have to overcompensate for me because I've never even heard of it.
I'm always
let alone tried it.
Into my house.
Danny, do you know?
I've never heard
I'm
of
busy looking at you and Rosie. I don't have time to look at your wall decorations.
A giant neon sign that you can just see from my house in the Natty's Bow Tower.
So what are you going with, JL? I just can't. I don't want this to.
It doesn't taste good, Josh. I'll tell you that. It's not. Not a good flavorful beer. But again, for just personal bias here, I'm putting it in A.
All right, let's go.
A from John Luke. Josh, are you also going A on this one?
Yeah.
We've got double.
It's just not
A
belong there probably, but that's okay.
for Natty Bow.
Because fire water.
Danny and I recuse ourselves. Firewater, that's liquor, right? Is that a specific type of liquor? I don't know if it refers to a specific type, but I'm pretty sure they refer. It's water that burns your throat.
Please elaborate on that.
Is that moonshine?
I thought Fireball at first.
Oh God, moonshine.
Fireball is just a mixed drink where you mix Fireball and water and then drink it. There was one time in high school, JL said when you light it on fire, or in college, I tried to do the cool flamethrower thing you see people do with Everclear and a lighter, but I accidentally spit all over my hand the first time. And so then the second time I did it, I just lit myself on fire, and I never attempted that one again. Actually, that's a lie.
Why not?
I did.
Why didn't you attempt it again?
We have to do a liquor tiers list.
A liquor tiers list?
That is a tiers list. That is a good tiers list.
All going to be F.
John Luke, which one do you want to talk about next? Anthony said, looks like the Pringles dude brother lost an eye and made his own beer company.
That's kind of.
Don't talk about Bo like that, bro.
Or Bo.
Don't talk about Bo like that. Pringles is from Baltimore. No, it's not.
Anthony's got the daggers today. Anthony's just coming in.
He does. He's feeling feisty. All right, I'm gonna go
Nectar. Okay, I saw you mention that earlier, Clint. I'm gonna look it up. Nectar.
All right, let's go with Busch Light.
Busch Light. Okay, John Luke, where are you putting in this one? Yeah, that was the Clemson College beer.
Yeah, just like Natty Light was where I grew up. Like everyone would buy Natty Light. Busch Light was, for some reason, what every freshman in college bought. At every party, there was just stacks and stacks of Busch Light. It is also garbage, but I'm putting it in. It's a solid B for nostalgia's sake.
You know what? Busch Light is terrible. Busch Light defined my freshman year of college, and I had a really great freshman year of college. I never want to do it again, ever. Best year of my life. I never want to do again. I was glad it was over, but Busch Light is an S tier for me just because of the memory, the nostalgia around it. Will I ever drink one again? Probably not. Maybe unless I go back to Clemson for a football game or something, might have one. But
God,
Busch Light nostalgia only is an S tier beer for me.
This is not going to work for liquors. Like the nostalgia argument is not going to work for liquors because like the same argument you make for like Evan Williams. For Evan Williams Green Label was like freshman year of college, and I will never, ever, 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 ever drink that again.
I Fireball's going to be vodka. I still can't drink vodka to this day because of vodka. What I did to myself in college. All vodka. I'm serious.
Danny, where are you going on Busch Light? So, Joe, you said B or C?
I said B.
B, S, and Danny, what are you saying?
I'm gonna have to be a hater and put in an F. Nothing good in my life has ever happened after drinking Busch Light.
Busch Light is F for me as well, guys.
That's fair. It is garbage beer.
We've got two Fs, an S, and a B. Is that like a C?
Busch. Yeah, it sounds like a C.
I can average this. What was it again?
Two Fs, an S, and a C. Or no, a B. You said B.
Oh.
A B and a C?
No, a B and an S. Two Fs, an S, and a B.
Okay. All right. Well, the answer is, I don't know.
D and a half.
8 divided by 4. It's 0, 1. It's a C. It's a C.
It's a C. We're putting it in C. Craig agreed with you though, Danny. He said Busch Light equals F. Tim said Busch Light cans can fly pretty far. Indeed, they can. Yeah, you can. We had a bunch of extra. Never mind.
Now I'm just remembering Busch Light hangovers, and I might be regretting.
He's like, did I put it too high?
Okay, John. Oh no, you picked Busch Light. It's my turn to pick, and I alluded to it earlier that Dos Equis is not my go-to beer at Mexican restaurants anymore, and that's because it's Pacifico. Pacifico is my preferred beer at Mexican restaurants. It is delicious. A little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon, and Pacifico is unreal. I put Pacifico in the S tier with PBR for me instead of Dos Equis, but we already put that up there, so it's got to join it. Danny, where are you putting Pacifico?
I have to recuse myself. I've never had it.
Never had a Pacifico. Josh?
Never had Pacifico.
I have had it, and it's fine. It's fine. It's just so fine. It's not that good. It's not that bad. It's like a BC B. I'll go B because I like it.
Anthony said, can we do Miller Lite next? It has the exact same amount of letters as Kareem Hunt, so it's got to be S tier by default.
Anthony wins today.
Man, Anthony
does win today.
He's on something today. He's feeling himself.
Josh, where did you put it? I was distracted by Anthony. I'm sorry.
What did you said C? Or you said S?
Said S.
Said S?
Yeah.
I got to go C then. Just the temper.
JL?
I'll recuse myself. Never had Pacifico.
Okay, so S and C, we'll give it a B. We'll throw it right down there. We'll say a B. We'll say the people recusing themselves dragged it down a little bit to a B, and that's where it's going to end up. Danny, we are back to you. Which one of these beers do you want to talk about next? Man, we got some winners down there.
Yeah, we got some classics. You know what? Let's go back to college, thinking girls would think I would be cute if I was drinking Bud Light Lime.
With your
the lime.
Bud Light Lime is definitely an A. I used to drink it all the time. And pro tip, women do not care if you drink Bud Light Lime. it does not.
Honestly, they're probably more likely to talk to you. They probably want a beer, so they're like, I want that lime beer. That
that was the theory. Hey, if they drink beer, they'll try this Bud Light Lime, and then they'll talk to me. Nah,
she walks up with like a IPA.
Yeah, she looks like,
you're drinking a Bud Light Lime?
Slaps it out of my hands. Like, here, drink a real beer.
My friend's calling me. I gotta go.
That's hilarious. Danny, where are you putting Bud Light Lime? It's getting F for getting girls, it sounds like, but what about as a beer?
I actually enjoyed the taste of Bud Light Lime, so I'll put it in the A tier.
Bud Light Lime A tier from Danny. Josh, where are you putting Bud Light Lime?
I love the argument you made for Bud Light Lime here. I do like girls too.
It doesn't work for that, Josh.
It doesn't. It
Bud
doesn't
Light Lime does leave
women.
It leaves this little weird like limey taste at the end that I don't love.
It's weird.
I'm putting it in like C for me.
That's fair.
So we got an A and a C. John Luke, where are you putting it? You're the one who made sure this was on here.
I did. I wanted lime.
Yeah, you said. Oh, you wanted Lime-A-Ritas and you compromised for Bud Light Lime because Lime-A-Ritas are not beer. Lime-A-Ritas are not beer. Where are you putting Bud Light Lime?
It's a B. It's solid.
Yeah, and it's fine. I guess if I had to pick between Bud Light and Bud Light Lime, I'd pick Bud Light Lime.
Yeah.
So I'll go B as well. I'll go B. So we got what? 2 Bs, 3 Bs, and an A. Josh, did you say B or C?
C.
So we have a C, and A, and 2 Bs. So that is solidly in B for Bud Light Lime. Josh, where are we going next? We'll go through one more round. Each of us.
I was really angry about Kareem Hunt earlier. I knocked out one of my contacts, so I got to like. I'm not joking. I have horrible eyesight too. It's really funny. So I'm like, but let's talk about. Look, I'm gonna hit some people. I'm gonna low blow some people with this one. Corona. I hate Corona. Don't want to drink Corona. It's F for me. I'm sorry. I told you, Danny. I'm gonna low blow some people with this.
Tim's gonna fight you.
I don't want to.
John Luke,
get out of my face.
Where are you going on Corona? We got an F vote from Josh. He hates it.
I like Corona. It's extra good with the lime. I don't understand, it's like the cool thing to do to like shove the lime into the bottle. I've never understood that.
And like stick your dirty ass thumb inside of it.
I want the lime in there, but I don't want to like sit there and just shove this lime through the bottle. I hate it. It's like the worst part of it.
Through the what?
Through the bottle.
I do like their commercials.
The bottle
made a good point.
The bottle.
The bottle. Yeah. But I do love Corona. It's a perfect like beach beer. And with the lime,
I hate the aftertaste.
I would put it in an A.
So we got an A and an F. I'm gonna split the difference. I like Corona, but I put it in the same category as Pacifico and Modelo, and I would pick both of those over it every single time. So it's got to be C or D for me. I'll go C. I'll give it a little bit of respect. It's not that I don't like it.
Let's pump it up.
With the likes of Busch Light.
With the likes of Busch Light, I'll put it in C. Danny, where are you putting Corona? We've got an A, an F,
and
a
sounds like
C.
Danny likes it.
I love Corona, and I am the guy that shoves his thumb while sticking a lime in the bottle. I am that guy.
You got another lime? I need 2.
Help me get my thumb out.
Yeah, get your thumb.
The bottle isn't sticky enough.
Yeah. I am that man. Corona is the only cheap beer my father and I can drink in unison. So So for my dad, it'll go in the A slot for me.
Sounds like a lot of your relationship
Go
is based
ask
off
if you would.
beer.
I kind of feel bad pushing it down so much with my F rating. So
No, it's okay. This is all nostalgia.
Yeah.
We got 2 A's, a C, and an F. So that would be C if there wasn't the extra A. So I say we bump it up to B. You know what I mean? If it was just 1 A, 1 C, and 1 F, it would be C. But this is a B now for Corona. Sorry, Joshua. JL, your last round pick. We're gonna go you, me, and then we'll let Danny as the guest pick one more. And then we're gonna call it on this list. Which one do you want to talk about? So we got 3 more total. We're gonna throw on here.
Ever had Tecate? Man, we don't have Imperial. You guys ever had that? That's good. I should have made it on this list. It's like the Costa Rican beer.
Yingling's on here? I actually like Yingling a lot. I didn't see Yingling one here. Yingling's actually a solid beer. I don't even feel like it belongs in this list.
It's price point. It's similar. I put Anthony's comment up first, but Sully's needs to be read first. It's like a precursor. Sully said Corona is an easy drinking beer, and getting the lime inside is not nearly as hard as Jail made it sound. Unless you have 14 of them.
Sully.
And Anthony said jail needs more lime foreplay. Can't just shove it in there, JL. Yeah. You got to loosen up your limes a little bit.
Maybe I'm cutting my limes too big. Maybe I need to cut them smaller. Too much garlic.
Rick said, I'm going to the fridge right now to get a Modelo because you guys are pissing me off and now I have to drink. It is either that or I break out the blades and pop the crown.
Bring out the blades.
Oh, shit.
Okay. John Luke, which one are you talking about?
I'm going to go. Danny brought up a beer earlier that he says his dad loves, and for that reason he hates. I'm going to do the same here. Coors Light. Utter garbage. Utter garbage. The only redeeming quality is the cool little, color trick they got on their can. I love that. I'm always a fan for magic tricks, but beer is terrible.
I don't give a shit if the mountains are blue, silver, green, orange, or yellow. I'm not drinking a Coors Light unless it's literally the only option.
I would drink a Natty Light over a Coors Light.
I think I give it an F. Jill, did you say F as well?
F, yep.
2 Fs. Danny, where are you putting Coors Light? We're going to make people mad with Fs on Coors Light. Some people, that's like the only beer.
Coors Light is my dad's jam. I drunk it in college a lot, but it's still in the F tier. Like, I'll never drink Coors Light again.
Damn, guys. Damn.
Josh is
belongs
like,
no, it's not S. It's not S. But it belongs above like these D class tier beers in my mind. I'm gonna go like B actually, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's F for Coors Light. Sorry, mountains. Rick said Indiana just allowed Yingling like 2 years ago and everyone was hype. I tried it and wanted to puke in the ocean.
Yingling's all right. That's good.
Ricky.
Good.
And Jay said the Coors Light disrespect.
They just allowed Yingling? What does that mean? I don't know.
No Yingling in this state. If you don't like the name, too hard to say.
Tim said Coors Light disrespect is intense. But Sully thinks we're not low enough. Says it's G tier. The last beer I'm going to talk about today. Oh, man, we got some good ones on here and some bad ones. I don't know exactly which one. I'm going to go with Michelob Ultra.
God. That's an easy
one. That's what I'm going. Michelob Ultra. The skinny cans always make me feel like a divorced mom for some reason, like a divorced white suburban mom walking around with like a Michelob Ultra in the neighborhood, like being like a little too flirty with the college kids visiting home, like for spring break or something. And you know what? Sometimes that's just how you want to feel when you're drinking. You want to have that like divorced mom energy. So I'm gonna give Michelob Ultra a C tier because it's got a place. God. It's got a place. C tier for Michelob Ultra. Danny, where are you going on Mick Ultra?
That's the best description of Michelob Ultra I've ever heard. Divorced mother. You win. That's a C. You win.
2 C's. Josh, where are you putting Mick Ultra?
I don't hate Michelob Ultra. I'll drink a Michelob Ultra. It's like a B tier for me.
What?
B. 2 C's and a B. John Luke, where are you going?
You guys know me. You know I am petty AF.
It's going F. It's
going F. It's the only one that is as bad as Coors Light, which is such an achievement. Like, for that achievement alone, maybe it shouldn't be an F, but it is so bad.
Anthony said, yeah, I agree about the cans, like bumming a Virginia Slim Sig.
Virginia Slims is the yeah. But that's not like soccer. That's not like divorced soccer mom. That's like divorced like cougar, like little older. I feel like
it's an easy transition, JL. You go from soccer mom to cougar real quick. Yeah. That's not like a different thing entirely.
You spend a little too much time in that divorced soccer mom phase. You
just evolve, yeah.
Virginia State.
A lot of the time, there's a lot of overlap in these two categories you're discussing here. Yes.
We had a B, 2 C's, and an F. I'll say the extra C. The B and the F cancel out. We're going to throw Michelob Ultra in C. We're going to do one more. Danny, the last one
Danny.
we want to talk about today. Which one would you like to end on?
We just talked about it briefly, but Yingling.
Yingling.
I'm glad. It had to be up here.
And Danny's like F.
No, so college Yingling, playing Madden all weekend, listening to Gucci Man, drinking Yingling, eating subs.
Yes.
Yingling is S forever and ever. I'll drink it to this day. I will drink it with my son, hopefully, if I ever have a son.
If I ever have a son.
That will be his 13-year-old birthday party. It's going to be a Yingling cake. It's going to be surrounded by Yinglings. And he and I were drinking.
And if I don't have a son, I will drink it with someone else's son.
Yep. I will.
Someone else's 13-year-old.
Yes.
Some 13-year-old. I'm not going to say that. That does not sound right at all.
I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry to put you in.
That sounds like Chris Hansen is around the corner. No.
Never mind.
I'm not just going to drink beer with any 13-year-old. No.
That's a father-son moment, Josh.
Yes.
Don't turn it into something it's not. Don't turn it into a Dateline special or something like that.
I don't know what I do. I apologize.
Danny said S tier. Josh,
Yingling is a S tier in this group of beers as well for me.
S tier.
Ricky, I'm
John
sorry.
Luke.
I see you saying barf and disgusting over there, but
I think it's the
relax, all right?
Yingling is the only beer that I've never. It's been there the whole timeline. Like since high school, I used to drink Bingling. I like that. That's a way better name. Since high school, and then like through college, I drank it, and then even to this day, I'll still drink Yingling. It's never lost its appeal. It's perfectly good. So I'm gonna put it in S.
Yes.
3 S's. So it doesn't even matter what I say, but for me, I've got no problem with it. Yingling's fine. Probably B, better than most of these, but I don't have any real memory attached to it except I went to high school with a kid with the last name Yingling, and I don't know if there's any relation. I never asked because
that makes it S just because of that.
No, completely.
I couldn't stand him. Like I could not. Sorry if you're watching, Mr. Yingling. But
Mr. Yingling.
So I always had like a negative connotation because I just like to assume he's part of the Yingling beer family, even though he's probably not. So that bumps it down. But it's a B for me. But it doesn't even matter. We had 3 S's. Danny, you set the scene perfectly. I was tempted to throw it up in S just because that sounded like a perfect afternoon. Just drinking Madden, drinking Madden, playing some Yingling.
I love my Madden.
Shoving some limes into.
I'll beat you up in Madden anytime.
A semi-dirty thumb and a lime and a Corona is the perfect match.
Get that sticky Xbox controller.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, guys, that was our beer tier list, and we did our running back tier list as well.
Where's the chocolate milk?
Tiers. Yeah, Cat wants to know where's the chocolate milk. Next time. Sorry, it didn't quite. It's not cheap.
She's not a big beer guy.
Chocolate milk and Hennessy is the way to go.
Milk and Hennessy.
Tim said Yingling is just fine. Yeah. And we got some more opinions here. Rick's mad because we didn't talk about Modelo. Tecate is good. TBH, it's not a bad beer. And Jay says High Life.
S God.
Here.
Yeah, that sounds right for Jay. Jay, you sound like a High Life fan. Yeah, that's right on brand.
Yeah.
Now, Danny, before we go, I did tell you before the show there was something I needed to correct that I said to you last time. I had a revelation. We talked about wings last time I was on a stream with you, and there was a question, what's better, drums or flats? And I was very adamantly
easy
on
answer.
The flat side. I was very adamantly on the flat side when we talked. Since then, I went to 2 different places. One, a traditional wing place, and one, a Korean restaurant that made Korean fried chicken wings.
Oh, I love Korean fried chicken wings.
Man, these wings at both places were cooked perfectly, and you know which one was better? It was the freaking drums.
Come on over, baby. It's warm out here.
I'm a drum guy too.
We got Yingling.
He's like, I'm not even surprised. He's like, of course, you just needed like a little bit more time to mature.
Come on over, guys. The water is fine in drum world. We living over here, baby.
I need to party with Danny sometime. Feels like a life.
Yeah, we're just gonna eat chicken wings and drink Coronas.
Josh, break out the Dos Equis
all day.
Drums and Coronas only.
I don't know if I still have it. I might.
Drums and Coronas is a stripper theme in a Florida nightclub.
I don't mean to extend this a lot. I don't mean to. Does everyone else have like just a bullshit? I didn't hear what he said, man. I wish I heard it. It must have been good.
He said drums and Coronas is a theme at a strip club in Florida.
I have no doubt about that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I needed a minute there.
What were you going to say, Josh?
Oh, does anyone else have like just a bullshit drawer that they have in their dresser? You know, they just have a bunch of things like. Yeah. So I might still have that Dos Equis necklace, but it would be in that dresser.
All right, let me know. If not, I'm going to order you one for Canton.
Yeah, the streets need it.
Ladies, I could use it, right?
Dos Equis.
If this Bud Light Lime doesn't do it for you, check out my necklace.
3.7%.
How can the girl say no to that?
Okay, guys. Danny, thank you so much for coming on today. That was an absolute blast. Guys, if you do not follow Danny on Twitter, where can they find you, man? Make sure all these people go and follow you.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at MadAds14. You will get nothing educational. I just tweet random thoughts, and we make fun of New York Knicks fans and Utah Jazz fans.
Yes.
So if you hate the Knicks and the Jazz, come over.
Yes. Some of the best random thoughts in the business over here. So, get on it.
Sorry, Jay, but the Knicks fans are bozos.
Hey, they're in the playoffs, man. They're excited.
And make sure you guys check out his show, the Speak On It podcast. As funny
so
as Danny's
really
been on here, those guys are awesome. Provide awesome information and just crack you up the entire time. You guys kill it over there.
Yeah, I'm always like lurking in the comments. I feel like it's an excellent show. Definitely tune in.
Hello,
Josh.
Trading makes fantasy fun.
Sorry, what'd you say, Danny?
Trading makes fantasy fun.
Your name's not Danny.
Trading makes fantasy fun. Sorry, Danny. I'm sorry, Danny.
It's all good. You're good, man. This is a blast. Just shouting out the co-host, Losty Mix, buddy for life. He makes the show go.
Make sure you guys go follow him as well. Awesome co-host over there on that show. Josh already said trading makes fantasy fun. Jay said, why you got to bring the Knicks into this? Because that's the perfect way to end the show. Why not trash it on the Knicks a little bit at the end? Guys, that is it for us today. We will be back at 3 Eastern tomorrow again. Unless you guys got anything else to say, we are out of here.
Bye.
Adios, everybody.